The Salomon Aero Blaze 3 is their versatile do-it-all shoe in their road lineup. For only $140, this shoe might be more capable than it seems. It has a nice, energetic, and versatile midsole, and after over 30 miles in the shoe, I'm ready to give you my review. Just a quick disclaimer that Salomon did send me these shoes to review, but all my thoughts and opinions are my own. Anyways, let's go ahead and dive into the review, starting with the upper. The upper on the Aero Blaze 3 is lightweight engineered mesh. It's breathable and on the thinner side, but it's not anything crazy. That being said, it's been very comfortable across a variety of conditions, even on warmer days. There's enough padding around the heel collar and tongue to be comfortable without feeling too plush or bulky. The fit overall was true to size. I had a thumbs width at the end, a great lockdown in the midfoot, and no rubbing or irritation anywhere. Overall, I describe this upper as simple with just the right amount of padding. All right, now let's talk about this midsole. This is where the Aero Blaze 3 really shines. It's energetic, versatile, and adaptive. It features the supercritical TPU Energy Foam EVO midsole with a stack height of 39 millimeters in the heel, 31 in the forefoot, and an 8 millimeter heel to toe drop. When I was taking it at slower paces, the midsole felt a little softer and bouncier, but as I picked up the pace and got more into my forefoot, the foam firmed up and became more responsive. There's no plate in here, and I'm glad there isn't because it doesn't need one, and I think it'd make it less versatile in my opinion. So I'll talk more about the versatility in the run type section, but overall this shoe is a very nice balance of cushion and liveliness. All right, now let's talk about this outsole. The outsole uses Salomon's Contra Grip rubber with coverage around the perimeter of the shoe and a patch in the forefoot. I found that it gripped great on pavement, wet and dry, and could even handle some gravel as well. If you're mostly staying on the roads but like to mix in the occasional crushed gravel trail, I think that this is a good shoe for that. But if you're doing mostly loose terrain and trail running, then they do actually have a gravel version of the shoe that has a much toothier outsole to give you extra grip and a little more durable protective upper. Despite a good amount of rubber, the shoe is still relatively light at 8 ounces in a men's size 9. As far as durability goes, it has been great so far with very little signs of wear. Alright, now let's move on to the run type stoplight portion of the review, where I'll go over speed day, everyday, long run day, and recovery day. So starting with speed day, I do give this a green light. So like I mentioned when I was picking up the pace, this TPU midsole definitely firmed up. It was still energetic, but it also was nice and responsive and definitely could handle picking up the pace. I really enjoyed it for tempo runs, but it's definitely not as snappy feeling as a dedicated speed day shoe, especially something with a plate and more aggressive rocker. Moving on to everyday, this shoe definitely gets a green light. It's kind of the bread and butter of the shoe was a lightweight daily trainer. That midsole is nice and balanced where it's not too soft where you're kind of wobbling around or too mushy, but it still kind of sink in and get a nice snappy bounce back from it where it still feels energetic and comfortable. And I just really enjoyed putting my daily miles on the shoe, and it's also not too heavy where it's gonna bog you down or anything. For long runs, I give this a yellow. I'd recommend this more for those medium long runs, but for me personally, I really like over 40 millimeters for my long run shoes. I want all the cushion I can get, and I think a lot of people will still use this and enjoy this for long runs, but for me personally, I just wish there's a little more underfoot. For recovery days, I give this a green light as well. Like I mentioned, when you're taking it slower, it does feel a little softer, like you sink in a little more, but it's definitely not marshmallowy. I do tend to prefer kind of more squishy marshmallowy shoes for my recovery runs, but that's for a dedicated recovery run shoe. This one, it's versatile enough where it can just definitely feel nice and comfortable and relaxing on those easy days. All right, now let's go ahead and do a few quick comparisons. The first shoe I'm going to compare it to is the Novablast 5 from ASICS. Both of these are lightweight daily trainers that are very versatile, though they definitely feel different underfoot. The Novablast 5, while still being bouncy, is definitely a little squishier and maybe a little less stable underfoot, while the Aero Blaze 3 definitely feels a little more stable and firmer. I think that me personally, I'd pick the Novablast 5 over this shoe, but that's just my preference of liking stuff that's a little softer, a little squishier, but you definitely can't go wrong with either. Next up is the EVO SL from Adidas, and again, both very similar shoes, lightweight, versatile trainers. very minimal uppers to them. I do really like the Lightstrike Pro foam in the EVO SL, especially for faster paces. I do kind of like how it has a little bit more of aggressive rocker to it, and that super foam feels nice and bouncy and responsive. And the kind of medium moderate to speed days is where I really like the EVO SL. Well, I think this one could be a good option for kind of easy to medium paces. Overall though, both can pretty much do it all, just kind of prefers if you like the TPU based foam that's a little bouncier, or the Lightstrike Pro foam that's going to give you that super shoe feel. And finally is the Aero Glide 3, specifically the gravel version. So they both have that energetic midsole, but the Aero Glide has more of it, has a higher stack, and for me this definitely makes it a much better long run shoe. Has much more protection underneath your foot, but it still has that nice bounce to it as well. This is the gravel version, so it does have those more aggressive lugs to it, and it can handle gravel and trails very well. But if you do mostly road, definitely go with the road version of the shoe, the regular Aero Glide 3. Between the two, I think that I prefer the Aero Glide 3. I think that the Aero Blaze is a better value because it's a little more versatile, where it does feel better when you're picking up the pace, while the Aero Blaze 3 is definitely still a solid everyday trainer, but with that extra cushion and extra weight, I do think it leans more towards the kind of long run shoe category. So overall, I think that the Aero Blaze 3 is a solid contender in the lightweight daily trainer category. It's versatile and adaptive enough to pretty much handle any type of run. The upper is pretty simple, but it is comfortable, gets the job done. That midsole, again, is very balanced, has that nice energetic bounce, but still soft enough to take it easy. So I think if you're looking for a great value shoe that can do it all without kind of the crazy bells and whistles, this is an awesome contender. And I just want to give a shout out to Salomon because I feel like they've been releasing a ton of great shoes this year. I've enjoyed this shoe, the Aero Glide 3. They've had a ton of great trail shoes as well. So I'm excited to see what they keep producing. Anyways, I want to hear it from you. Have you tried the Aero Blaze 3? Are you going to pick up a pair? Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep on running.